I'm so excited to introduce you to our brand new Summer Solstice series. It is a seasonal rewind to some of our most powerful soul-infused episodes that blend strategy with that feminine woo we love. So whether you're poolside, road tripping, or sneaking in some quiet CEO time, this mini-series is your reminder that you can grow a business that feels just as good as it looks on paper. So we are going back to the heart of it all and pulling out some of our favorite episodes that are real talk about scaling with intention, building authentic relationships, making money without burning out, and honoring your intuition with every decision. These episodes are packed with timeless insights and grounding reminders that your business gets to support your life and not the other way around. So grab your sunglasses and your journal because this month we're diving into a soulful refresh that might just spark your next big move. It is hard to believe that this is the last pep talk of 2022, but I thought, heck, let's end the year with a bang, shall we? So I am super excited to kick off a 5-part series for the new year, where every Friday in the month of January and the last month of December this year, we are actually going to be sharing 2 pep talks in one. So we're digging into the merging of strategy and soul. So before we get into this and what this actually means, let's be clear that I am not a mindset coach. And I would say that going even further, my Enneagram 3 brain loves lists and action items. But the biggest growth that I have seen in both my clients and myself in the last year have been merging both the masculine side of strategy. So it's the textbook of like, what's your plan? What action steps are you going to take? How are you going to implement this? Let's create systems and funnels and all the things. And the feminine side of journaling and manifesting and trusting the universe and going with the flow. Is trusting the universe a business plan? No. But does it work sometimes? Yes. And so I really wanted to dig into this more, not only to challenge myself, but also to challenge you going into the new year of what this could really look like. So to kick things off today, this is part 1 of 5. We are really getting into it. We're going to talk about part 1, which is creating more than a vision board. I'm going to walk you through my strategy of what I do. And then 2, really thinking about what is the masculine and feminine side of strategy, which I hope is going to inspire you for the new year. So let's start with the first part, and that is a vision board. So everyone does this time of year. And if you're like me, you love Canva. And I was actually the person in high school who had all the magazines and I would cut out all the words and I would do all the scrapbooks. I am a super visual person and it's fun, right? So I'm actually, side note, considering the word fun for my 2023 word. We'll talk about this in a minute. But I want you to think about how can you create that vision, but make it fun, make it powerful, and then add the masculine side of this is actually a plan to it. So it is way more than a vision board. And so I want to dig into how to create one. So the first thing that I do every single year is I pick a word. I like having a word because I never stick to New Year's resolutions. And I actually think it's kind of crazy to pick a resolution that you're going to stick to for 12 months at one time. That's crazy. I am much more committed to something for a month or a week or even a quarter. But I like picking a word because the word is kind of like setting the boundary for the year. My word this year was powerful. So I had purposeful, sorry. The word purposeful. And so I had the word purposeful written in the middle of my vision board. I'm actually staring at it right now. And then underneath it, I had a statement. I call this your power statement. This is the thing that's going to guide you for the whole year when you're making decisions. And yes, it can change. So don't stress out about that. But my power statement was, I desire to manifest and feel healthy and strong, free of anxiety, to do more of what I love that will allow us to thrive mentally, physically, and financially. So when I look at my board, I see this power word, purposeful. And so when I'm going through my monthly planning or my quarterly planning or my weekly planning, I'm like, what is the thing? What is the word? I actually don't know what my word is. I'm leaning towards fun and joy and really just a little bit different than what I usually crave, because I just feel like having that creative white space this year has really helped me grow even more as a leader. But the whole goal is I want you to pick a word. Then I want you to pick your power phrase. A great way to pick power phrases is to go back to some affirmations that you have done for the year. And like, what does that look like? How can you pull that together? So some of my affirmations that I use every single day are money flows freely and easily to me. Good things come easily, and I can be happy and free and create the world I want to see. This was at the beginning of last year. So if you think of those two things, this was me coming out of my corporate career and saying like, I just want it to be easy. I just want it to feel light and free. My other one is I am open to creative abundance. I release anxiety and embrace change. So I really want you to think about, what does that look like? One of my favorites is I trust what the universe has in store for me. It is better than I imagined. And so if you look at what we're doing, we're creating this sort of like feminine flow, right? Feminine creativity of energy that we're then going to pair with what do we want the future to look like. So the next thing that I want you to do is you've picked your word, you've picked your power phrase, right? I want you to visualize what the future will look like. So my favorite question to our community is, what would your $1 million self do? So I want you to think of what are the photos that are going to inspire you, the people that are going to inspire you, the quotes and the creative things that are going to inspire you. And I want you to also think about what can you put in front of you that's going to inspire you to take action to embody who you want to become. Create that. What visuals are going to help you remember that? So now we've got a word, we've got a statement, and we've got some visuals. And I want you to make sure that this is like all encompassing, right? So it's not just business. So now when you look at your board, you've got this amazing word, you've got your power statement, and you've got these visuals that are going to help you remind you to take action of embodying who you want to become from all aspects of your life, not just the business stuff, right? So now I want you to put the vision board aside and we're going to come back to it. And I want to come back to this whole idea of masculine and feminine strategy, right? So the whole concept of scaling with strategy and soul is the idea of pairing this detailed masculine planning and system instruction and structure with this feminine side of listening to your gut and being creative and trusting the universe. So you're like, well, Holly, what does that look like? So we just did part of it, right? So we just started this vision board. So we're going to go into the new year with this vision board, and that's the feminine side of planning. But now I want to flip the model, and I want you to think about the masculine side of planning, which is a much more factual side. And you can start by asking these questions. What do you want to accomplish in the next year, right? What is working? What is not working? If yearly is too overwhelming for you, do it by quarter or do it by month, because the whole purpose is that we're going to come back and we're going to visit this. This is not something that we like just create right now and then put it on the shelf. The next thing that you want to do is when you look at your numbers, what do they tell you? Can you keep doing what you are doing, or does something need to change? And what is that thing that needs to change? And this is not overthinking. This is just brainstorming, like what is coming to your mind and how are you doing it? The next thing you want to ask is what are you enjoying? What are you enjoying doing? And what are your clients asking for? What is the best way to serve them? Again, another brainstorming exercise. So when you look at what you enjoy doing, what are your clients asking for? And what is the best way to serve them? And then finally, what do you want to accomplish this quarter that's going to help you get to your goal? Now, you'll notice that I threw in quarter there instead of year because, again, I'm such a huge proponent of let's brainstorm and think about it, and then let's actually do it, and then come back and see if it's working, right? Who knows what's going to happen 3 months from now? So let's set a plan of what we think is going to work, and then we can always pivot later. So the last question I have is, what action can you take right now to move closer to your goals? So all of these questions are very, very, very tactical. And at the end of this mini exercise, you should be factually and strategically, in a very masculine way, be able to show the direction of what you want to do with the actions to back it up. But what we're going to do now is pair it with our vision board exercise. So you can go back to your vision board and you can strategically I just put like little sentences, right? So I've got my word and I've got my power statement. And then
I have these little sentences, right? And so I have like travel and freedom as a sentence. I have rebrand, strategy, and outsourcing as a sentence. I have retreats as a sentence, right? So these are things that I knew that I wanted to focus on going into 2022, but I wasn't really sure yet what it's going to look like. So we just took those very masculine questions of like, what does the data show us? What do we want to do? What are the steps we're going to take? And we're merging it with this vision board. So not only can we see our power statement and our word, but we can see those masculine sentences coming back through. Now, I do this on Canva. It's really, really easy. You just create a page, add in all the pictures, add the words, add the sentence, and then print it out. It's not hard. It maybe should take you an hour because all these things are inside your brain already. And I think so often we put so much pressure on the new year, the new plan, the new goals. But what if you just release that pressure and had some fun and create a vision board with some depth and then get into the masculine planning of what are your actions and what is the data telling you? Because together it's a powerful roadmap to help build your future. Now, the other last piece that I wanted to share, and I actually got this from a Brene Brown podcast, and it's this fact that you actually need more creative time to make more strategic growth. So if you're listening to what I'm saying, the creative time is the feminine space, right? It's the trust the universe, go with your gut kind of thing. The I actually need to take action is the masculine side. The fact that she shared in this podcast is everyday thinking. So you and me looking at our finances, coming up with the next step, recording a podcast, whatever it is, takes about 2 to 3 acres of space in our brain. Creative thinking, like those ideas that we don't know exist yet, but are there, actually take up 50 acres of space in our brain. So to me, when I was debating whether or not I should come into this podcast series was like, Holly, are you really going to talk about mindset for 5 episodes? Considering I am not a mindset coach. When I heard this fact, I was like, yes, because the number one thing that has helped me strategically from a feminine side is actually having downtime and having the space to be creative. The reason why you think of things in the shower when you're not listening to podcasts or writing things down or scrolling your phone is because there's 50 acres of space in your brain that have all these amazing ideas that you just need to tap into. And so I want you to create your vision board and I want you to think about all the feminine things that I asked you to do, the word, the power statement, the photos. And then I want you to go into the masculine side and answer the questions and put those sentences on the vision board. But then most importantly, I want you to set aside time each month or quarter, or even week. We do it weekly in the planner. That's how important it is to go back and look at this and say, you know what, do I need to change something? You can change it. Does something need to look different? Make it look different. I hang my vision board in my closet. I also have it as the desktop saver on my laptop. So when I sit down to do my weekly and my monthly planning, it's there. And if I want to change it, I change it. So don't put all the stress on. You have to have this perfect plan going into the new year. I want you to think about how you can merge the masculine and feminine side so that we can get the best results. And so the best part is this is just part 1 of 5. Like I really took this to the next level. So next week, we are digging into how to make money right now with a fun feminine strategy twist. But this week, I would love it if you could share your vision board with me. What did you create and what is your word for 2023?